Hello friends, welcome to my channel, a channel for learning simple coding. If you find this video to be helpful, please like, share and subscribe my channel. In this video number 51, I'm going to explain how to use NextAuth in your Next.js application. I'm creating this video on NextAuth because of the huge demand of my viewers. They're asking to make videos on NextAuth. So I'm going to create the series of videos on NextAuth in which I am going to cover each and every concepts of NextAuth. So in this video, I'm going to explain the basic configuration of NextAuth with email and password. Simple email and password, and that would be static, no database connection at all. Then I'm going to use in next video about MongoDB. So I'm going to make a connection of NextAuth with MongoDB. And after that, in next video, I'm going to make a connection with MySQL. After that, I'm going to explain you the session management with MySQL and MongoDB in NextAuth. Then I'm going to explain about how do you link GitHub authentication with your Next.js application with the NextAuth. Then I'm going to explain the Google authentication also. So it's an interesting concept and demanding concept also, and everybody want to protect their website by using NextAuth. So how to protect your website with NextAuth, that we are going to understand in this video. So first of all, if you don't know what is NextAuth, then we are going to understand first, then we are going to explain. So if you go to internet, I have this special website, that is NextAuth. Remember that this is nextauth.js.org. just you type like that and click enter, and you will have the first website. Click on it and get started, and you will have the documentation for this. This documentation is not working properly for app routing in Next.js, means for latest Next.js 14 version it is not working properly. I'm going to explain you how to configure for Next.js latest version 14. I'm going to explain that. So first of all, what is NextAuth? NextAuth is a inbuilt library that is used for authentication purpose in Next.js application. By using this NextAuth library, you can make authentication with Twitter, with Firebase, with Google, with GitHub, with any database. Means it's a pre-built library that you can use to protect your website, to make a authentication facility in your website. So how to do this? Just first of all, you have to install this. So I copy this and I have an inbuilt application. Just I show you to run this. First of all, I just install it. It's a very simple. Just you have to install it. npm install NextAuth. Simple, it's installed. Now I run my application, npm run dev. So it is starting, and I show you that right now I don't have any kind of authentication on my website. You see that now this application or website has been started, and so far I have these pages like this. They are working here like this way, and remember that right now I have no login facility on my website. You see, nothing is there. Now I want to protect this website with NextAuth. So I have installed this library. It's very simple to install. Now I am going to integrate this in my application. So how to integrate? So if you go for documentation here, it will explain you to create your directory like this, and how to do that I am going to explain you in a practical way. So this is our application, and this is my app directory. Remember that. So under this app directory, first of all, I have to create a file route, but under a certain path. So I create a file and I say that file should be under API. Then we should have auth directory. Then under that I have ... NextAuth. Then after that I have route.js. remember that we have to create. So remember this. So first we have app directory, then we have auth directory, then under that we have ... NextAuth. Then after that we have a route, because we have to create a route first of all. And if you see that in documentation also, they are explaining you that, but it is for page, not for app directory. So that's why I'm explaining you that is not up to this documentation is not for app routing, but I'm explaining you how to make it for app routing. So first of all, create a API directory, then auth directory, then this folder .NextAuth, then under that route.js. So we have created this. Now here we have to make a configuration for that. So for making this configuration, what we have to do, we have to import first of all here NextAuth, like this function we have to import. So first of all, we have to import NextAuth that we have imported here. Then we have to create a constant like this. I say handler for this, and I need to use this function NextAuth, and here I need to pass the auth options. Remember that auth options I will create a separate component. There I will use this component to pass here. But after that passing this, then I have to export handler as get and handler as post. Remember that I need to do. But I need to create one separate component for this also. That is must to use. So NextAuth I am going to create now for configuration purpose. Remember that this is the route here, and in this route we have to create a handle, and handle we have to pass as a get and post routing, or inbuilt with the help of these options which we will provide. It will create a route for get and post automatically. That is the NextAuth facility. Now I can create one more folder for my purpose. So in app directory I create the NextAuth like this. Under this NextAuth I will create my auth options component for that. So create a new, and here I say NextAuth options.js like this. So this is the file NextAuth options.js. Here I need to create an object. So I say export const auth options. Remember that I need to create object for this, and I say like this. So this is the object that I am going to create, and this object I am going to pass here in route. So I import it also. I say import, I say auth option. Remember from app this NextAuth directory like this. So from this NextAuth option I am going to import this, and I am going to make my coding here. So first thing here that we need to use is that is called session. So I say session. Under this session we have a strategy. So we say strategy strategy, and here I say JWT. First option we have to pass. Then we need to pass max age, the duration of this session management. So I want to take for 2 days. So I say that is 24. Then I say 60. Then I say 60. So that is called 2 days. Remember that. You can increase as per your choice. You can see 1 here for 1 days. You can pass for second on minutes. That is a simple one. So I save this. So this is first thing. So session we want to make. For strategy we are going to use JWT, and max age is this. Then second parameter is the credentials that we are going to use. So I have to import first. So I say import credentials from NextAuth provider. You see, so we have taken credentials from NextAuth provider. This now second thing is this credentials we have to use, but for that I need a providers. So I need to create first of all providers as a array. So here I say providers like this. That should be the array. Remember that. So this providers we are using, and under this first provider is the credentials. So I say credential like this, and that is a function. Under this function I need to pass a object. Remember that the syntax is, so provider is array. Under this array we can provide number of providers, but here first provider is the credentials that we use to make authentication with plain text or plain email password or with MongoDB and MySQL. Now after that I have to pass here type. So I say type is credential like this. Then I say here credentials like this, and then I need to pass this object to the credentials. Remember that this is a credentials. Then we create this object, and here I need to create the interface for email and password. Remember that. So I say first would be email. Under this email I say the label of this is email like this, or like this you can say email. Then we say type of this like we have in HTML. So type would be of email. Then we say placeholder. So I say placeholder means which you want to display inside the text box. So I say enter your email. So that is the first one. Remember that. Here I need to make this comma also. Then I say password like this. Again I say label. Label is I say password. Remember. Then I say type is also password in HTML. Then I say placeholder, and that placeholder is enter your password like this, and I save this. So you will see that like this way we provide the facility for credentials like this. So when this credentials object is over, after that this is the my credential and this is the credential function. Under the same function, inside this we have to use a function. I say async authorize, and here I need this one function here, and inside this function, remember I need to check the username and password which I am passing. Here I take credentials. Remember this is the parameter that will have the information regarding which you insert, and I create a constant here and I take email and password from credentials. Remember that. So from this parameter I read email and password here. Now I need to check email and password is okay, then I will allow to log in my app. So here I check if email equal to suppose I say Dr. Vipin @gmail.com. It's a dummy user, and I say and the password is equal to Dr. Vipin, and I say equal to like this. If password is there, and then you see we are checking with email and password. If this is email, this is password, then I have to return. Remember that I need to return a authenticated user information from here. So I say ID is 1. For example, I say email is, I say here capital, maybe anything. I say email is equal to email like this. Then I take here, you can say username. So I say username equal to, and here I say Dr. Vipin classes, for example. So these are the dummy information. This same email I am passing, this I am passing, and here I take object. So like this I have to return if this is okay. Else remember that if there is no username password, then return a null. So we have to return this information, otherwise we have to return null. That we have to check here. So here I can take a small e also, maybe capital, but it doesn't matter, but I'm taking same. So we are passing this information. If username password is okay, then return this user, otherwise return null. So if null is returned, then there's no authentication at all, but if you put here email password okay, then it will run. So this configuration part for credentials of plain username and password, remember that I'm talking about plain email and password. So that is okay. NextAuth we have learned configuration part 1 part we have done. Now we have a remaining part also that we are going to understand. So now I need to go to this env file. This env file we have to make certain configuration for NextAuth. So I say here NextAuth underscore URL, then that would be http localhost 300. Remember that, and I say NextAuth secret. Remember that it's very important to pass these information of NextAuth URL and NextAuth secret, otherwise it will make some problem. So secret may be any text which you can pass, but I have a command also. You can use that command to achieve that. So this is the command for Node.js. I just copy this command here and I paste that command also. I open command prompt, I say cmd, here I pass this, and you see generating a key. So this key I am taking, copy. You can use this command to generate the same kind of token, otherwise you can pass your some other secret key also. So this is the secret key that we have to pass, and this secret key will give your authentication as a unique user. Remember that. So unique ID, because you will make a link with GitHub and Google, then it will allow only on the basis of this secret key. If this secret key is changing every time, if you are not passing secret key, then automatically it will change every time and Google will create a problem. So you have to pass the secret key, then URL, and if you will host your application on physical server on cloud basis, then change this server to according to your physical IP address. This is my local host, that's why I'm passing it. So this thing is done. So we close this environmental variable. Now we have to link this with the application, and we have to link only by using, you see in layout we have to enter this. Here we have to enter this under this layout. So for that I need a session provider. So I create one component, remember that. So I'm creating a separate component. I say this NextAuth session provider, remember that .js, and I say RAFCE, that is the separate component that we need. And this component, remember that, should be used as a client component. So I say use client, otherwise it would not work. And here I am passing children like this, and here I need to import session provider from, I say NextAuth React. So this is session provider NextAuth React, and in place of this I have to remove this and I have to use session provider like this, and here I need children. Remember that this children I am going to pass here. So save this. So this is the session provider, NextAuth session provider. That session provider I need to pass here in URL. So I import first. So I import it. I say import NextAuth session provider like this, and I need to use after navigation. Here I need this NextAuth session provider, and this child I have to pass under this. Remember these steps, most important steps. We have to link this with our application. So now all the component will open inside this session provider. This session provider is providing by the NextAuth. So this is done. Layout is also done. Now one thing is remaining here that I'm going to show you that. So if I go to my this and I pass here API and I say auth.signin, it should execute NextAuth. Remember that, because these are inbuilt page that will execute by this. You see this page is coming, email, which enter your email password. I have designed this page, remember that. This page I have designed here. I say email. If I change this to like this email and I save, automatically you will see that this will also change. I refresh it and it will say email. You see email and password. And if I say this your email, so I can change it label to, I say your email like this, or I say your email like this, and you will see that automatically according to that it will change. That means I am designing this page. Automatically this HTML page is coming. So this page is coming only when I am passing API auth and sign. I want this page automatically link with my all the websites like this. If I open this, it should ask username password. If I open this, it should ask username password. That means my each and every page of this website should be protected by the NextAuth. For that we have to use middleware. Remember that for middleware I create on src directory, and here I create a file. I say middleware.js, and here I need to use only one thing. What I have to do, I say here export, remember, and here I say default, and here I say from, and here I say NextAuth, and here I say middleware. Remember that we have to insert only export default NextAuth middleware. And if you want to bypass certain pages, so create here matcher. And what is the meaning of matcher and how to use middleware in Next.js application, I have a separate video. You can read that video also about middleware. But here you have to add this line. After that, if I will open my website, remember that if I press any key of this website, my all the pages will be protected. You see automatically. If now I can't leave this because it automatically is protected. So whenever I will open my website, it will ask for username password. So but if you want to protect some certain pages, you don't want to protect your whole website, then you can use middleware concept and pass their URL those you want to protect. Remember that also. But here I am going to explain you that I am protecting the complete website, because I am not going to explain about middleware. But if you want to learn more and you want to protect only certain pages on your website, learn about middleware. I have a separate video on middleware. Use that video and pass here your URL, then it will protect only those URL which you will pass here in a matcher. Now you see website is protected. I have to pass the username password. So I say Dr. Vipin @gmail.com and password is Dr. Vipin. Remember that? And I click here on login. If it is okay, you see this is okay because we have, and we can save this also. You see that it is okay. Why it is okay? Because we have check here this username password, and if it is okay then it will show you like this. Everything is okay, I think, and this is also bypassing this authentication. Now you can open any page. Remember that any page you can open from this site. But now I have to log out. If I want to log out every time if you log in, then it won't ask any login now, but we have to make a logout also. So for logout, what we have to do, I have a navigation here. Remember, in this navigation at the last I put here after font, I put here logout button also. So I say here log out, remember, or I say logout here like this, and here I pass the URL would be API under this auth under this sign out. Remember that sign out you have to pass sign out page. This is inbuilt page, automatic page, and save this. Okay, I have to copy this inside this, not that, wrong one. So here I have to copy this, and this is not required. Save this, and you will see that an API auth and sign out. This page will insert in my website at the corner. If I refresh it, and you will see that I will have a logout. If I click on this logout, it will show me logout screen. You see, remember that by back it. So we have my website, every page is open here, no problem at all. But if I click on logout here, then we have a sign out page, and I can say sign out also because it says sign out. So I say sign out like this, and I just go back, and you will see that we have a sign out page. I click here, and if I click on sign out, then my login is failed. Now we have to again log in. Remember that? So I have to log in again. This is done here. So in this video we have understand, it's a big video, and we have understand how to link NextAuth with your website. In next video I will show you that how to link MongoDB in place of these static username and password. So we will add MongoDB, and with the help of MongoDB we will find out the authorized user in the database. If user is found, then we will open, otherwise we will pass a null value. So in place of a static email and password, we will use dynamic email password from the database that we are going to add. And you see that how easily and without any effort I tried to make you understand how to use NextAuth. NextAuth is not a simple library, it's a typical one, but I tried to make you each and every concept in a very simple way. Just to follow my video and you would be able to add NextAuth in your application. If you really learn something from this and you want to appreciate my effort for providing you knowledge about NextAuth, please like my video, share this video to your friends also to learn NextAuth. Try to promote my channel. Thank you for watching this video.